Okay, gonna tell you a trucking story, and then I'm gonna tell you a little bit about me, and then I got a whole bunch of cat pictures that a friend sent me, and I'm gonna put them in here too. So, first I'll tell you what I did the other day. Saturday, my friend David and I, David's the guy that lives sort of to my north. Just, I mean, you can see his house through the woods when you're in my shop. Anyway, he went on a Patriot Guard mission with me, and I'm glad because there was only 6 people there, counting myself, 7 counting David. Well, this guy was 87 years old. He was a veteran of the Navy and of the Air Force. And we got there, and there was only 3 members in the family, and they were all women, and nobody to carry the casket. So we're all old guys, and I am actually the young guy, and of course now David is. I think David's 55. So I've always been the young guy at these Patriot Guard things. So, and there's some guys in their 80s. There was a guy that was 80 and another guy that was 81, and there's a bunch of guys that are that old. And as you get older, the muscles in your arms, they don't completely disappear, but you're nowhere near as strong as you are in your 50s and 60s when you're in your 80s. That's just a fact of life. So anyway, the hearse, the guy that the funeral home director, asks us if we would mind being pallbearers, and of course we said sure. And then I'm thinking, oh man, this you got 2 guys here that are, one's 80 and one's 81, and I'm at the very front at the edge of the hearse, right? And the procedure is, we've done this before. You grab a hold of the casket, and the casket the casket goes in head first, feet towards the end of the hearse. So I knew that the head end would be the heavier end, so I made sure I got that end. And I start pulling it out by the handles, and there's a guy on the other side, standing opposite me, and he does the same thing, pull it out, and you pass it back to the guy beside you using the handles. And as the torso got closer and closer to me, I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't know if I could pick this up. So we had to carry this man, uphill 30 feet, and then we had to make a hard left and then turn around, change hands, turn around. Now I'm using my left hand, which I'm having serious trouble with. I didn't know we were going to do that until we got up the top of the hill, and he says, okay, now I need you to turn this way and then turn around. Oh, man. Anyway, we got the man placed on the rollers that go over the grave, and, they have the grave covered up with green carpet, and then on top of it, they have this, staging with rollers on it, and you have to pick the casket up fairly high and then set him on the rollers and then drag it across the rollers. And anyway, we did that, and I pulled so many muscles in my shoulder. I pulled muscles in my forearm. And then we saw a picture of the man, the deceased veteran, and he was a giant dude. And anyway, I just thought I'd let you know that it's not funny, but I'm glad we were there. I'm glad we were able to do that for the family. And I'm glad there was that many of us there, because it was kind of sad only seeing 3 people. I mean, there was more people at the funeral, but they were scattered out away from the family. So I think they were just maybe friends and acquaintances from years gone by. There was only 3 family members there. And I'm really glad that we were there to, show support and respect and gratitude. Anyway, here's a funny story. Moving on. Years ago, Charlie and I were coming out of Phoenix. Actually, we're past, what's that truck stop that, no. Tonopah's up on what, 30 or 40?
Tonopah is on 10.
No, Tonopah? Are you sure?
Okay.
Maybe so, but it wasn't Tonopah. We were, when we went down to Gila Bend, what was that city that we took a right on? Buckeye?
Yeah.
Is that the name of it? Buckeye?
Yeah, there's
Yeah. Okay. Buckeye's the name of the town. We're west of Buckeye, headed west to LA. And this car was road raging and driving all over the road, running people off the road. And when people would try to pass him, he would put it to the floor and keep them from passing. And then they would go ahead and get back behind him and he would slam his brakes on. I mean, and on top of that, he was drunk. He was weaving back and forth over both lanes. So Charlie and I called the cops, and clearly we were not the only ones that called the cops because they told us, well, someone's on their way. And so about 10 minutes later, a state cop, Arizona state cop shows up and pulls the guy over. We gave him a description of the car and everything. And pulls the guy over, and we parked about 200 feet back because, if we had to be a witness or something. So he pulls the guy over and he talks to him, and the guy is staggering and holding onto his car to keep himself up. Well, the cop walks back towards us, and as he's doing this, the guy he was talking to that was outside of his vehicle falls and rolls down the embankment into the desert, and we point to the guy that the cop is looking at us, and we both point to the guy, and he's suddenly gone. So, and then he sees him out in the desert trying to stand up. The cop walks back to us and say, well, he's not drunk. What he is got about 30 cans of Red Bull in him. And I suspect this was somebody that was a cop because
he had government tags on his vehicle.
Well, this guy was clearly drunk, and the cop was trying to convince us that he was all hyped up on Red Bull, and that he promised the cop that he would stop at the next exit and get a motel room. So that was that. But that's how the blue back each other. This guy was going to end up killing somebody, and he was going out of his way to antagonize people, and clearly he was under the influence of something that was affecting his driving terribly. So what else was I going to tell you? Oh, yeah. I am having some serious issues, mechanical issues. And I got to go back to the doctor Thursday to see what in the hell is wrong with me. I cannot keep living like this. I'll just tell you that I cannot get far from a toilet. And if I want to go anywhere, I have to stop eating the day before. Like the Patriot guard, I knew I was going to go on that, so I had a cup of noodles the day before, and that was the end of it. And so you get the idea. I've got pain like crazy down there, and something's wrong. I got to get this fixed. I'm thinking it may be Crohn's disease because I have all the symptoms, plus there was 2 side symptoms, swollen joints and aching joints, and I've got all that. My feet are swollen so bad I can hardly get them in my boots. Okay, so Thursday I see the doctor, and that's why I'm not doing anything. I've pulled muscles, my hands are killing me, my gut is killing me, and I'm swelled up everywhere. So have a good Tuesday, y'all. And I'm just going to put a whole bunch of cat pictures in, and a couple pictures of my dog.
He's hooking back up to the rail trailer. I'm going to pick the Jeep up and set it right there on those blocks. And then strap that down, and I think the Stinger sits on top.
Agreed that she went through the pain she went through. At the time of Michelle's death, I had 2 children. And, do I personally?
Geometry. And if they did, where's the record of it? Where is it in the oral tradition? Surely if they're going to build some names like the Hope Book, like the Edina at the turn of it,
It's not down here no more. Here, let me roll this old rusty thing out. We better go see if he's pouring one.
gets more cobs in there, rolls, thrashes a lot better. So that's as easy as
to get growing and to get the seed to stick to the ground. This dirt that it's going over, some of it is good yard dirt, like dark or black dirt.